Continuing our my coverage really of this Ultima Series Solstice tournament. We are in the round of 32 still with Reason taking on dBys. Obviously Reason Gaming, fairly well-known team over here on the Legion side. Hellborn not so much, but we'll see what they can bring to us. As, I don't know, for some reason I'm having issues with the network at my house, but regardless, I am in. Bans are out. Ophelia, Cersei, Keeper of the Forest, and Tempest. So Hellborn taking out two prominent pushers and potentially junglers, as well as teamfight heroes. Legion getting rid of the traditional Ophelia, Cersei, who they get banned out all the time. And we will not see either of them in this game. No surprise really here from Reason. In fact, I think they quite like this, as they do tend to shy away from junglers, so things looking good for them and their draft strategy. And so far we have NG Fade coming out. Fade, obviously, here we haven't seen very much recently. I don't know why. Still a powerful hero, still a strong initiator. I think plays the initiate I'm a terrifying burst damage hero better than Parasite does, and scales better as well because she has a stun instead of just a silence, and she has the ultimate, of course, which gives her invisibility and tree walking, so lots and lots of vision, lots of scouting potential. Difficult to kill because she can pop that reflection and run away. I'm a real big fan of that hero, and of course certainly can go the utility build or the burst build with the codex. You know, she can go push book and puzzle box, that sort of thing, or she can go the burst. So nice combo here, and of course they lane very well together with the Fade Burning Shadows into the NG Keg and stun and turret, plus the Call providing lots of burst damage and damage in general, 2 stuns and a slow. So that's a strong lane. I assume we're going to see the NG Fade middle, as that's quite common. Does sort of put Reason into corner here, as they're definitely looking for a suicide and a short laner plus either a second support or a jungler. I suspect we'll see a second support, but obviously you never know. Over here on the Hellborn, we have Empath and Prisoner 945. No problems with Empath. Perhaps a first pick a little dicey. There's Pestilence on the board. There's Wretched Hag. There's Rhapsody. There was Engineer, and obviously not when they picked, but Bubbles, certainly for that matter. So Empath first pick. Not really a huge fan of that, but I do love the hero. I think she's incredibly powerful and doesn't get played enough, although she is seen in the competitive scene. I think she's right up there in terms of the best supports, especially if you're going for a babysit support on bot lane. She's so damn good at keeping people alive with some well-placed walls, and as a zoning support against a suicide, her auto attack damage is extremely high, and her attack animation is pretty good for that matter, so is quite able to zone out a suicide, and is very able to deal some harass in lane if she needs to. Not to mention, she's one of the few supports that scales extremely well, because all she has to do is hop into the carry, and all of a sudden she's got walls and essence links coming out all over the place, plus she's very hard to kill if she's inside that carry, and the As-1 providing plenty of movement speed and attack damage. Just a hero that does well in all phases of the game, and there aren't too many supports where you're like, oh, it's 45 minutes in, our support is still providing plenty to our team, and Empath certainly fits that bill. Last pick over here for Legion is Torture, so going to be the second support most likely. We'll see what they actually choose to do, but carry Tort, not seen very often. It's almost always in that support role, so I do expect that to happen. We also have the potential for Tri-Lane here on Legion, 3 stuns. With a Fade-centric Tri-Lane could certainly be very, very powerful. I believe Reason's run that before as well, so we'll see if they choose to do that. I'm sort of leaning Tri-Lane here because Torture in a dual lane on bot, not so great, I think. As a dual mid, he's a very aggressive support, has plenty of damage, is able to lock heroes down, so if you combine him with like a Pestilence or something like that, he's very powerful. As a babysit support, I'm less convinced. I think there are other heroes that do that a little better. Empath is one of them. But maybe Witch Slayer, a little more lockdown to make sure that the opposing team either can't chase or can't get away, and let your carry do most of the damage. Also scales better because that Hex is extremely powerful. Glacius, a similar situation. Regardless, we'll see what Legion decide to do. I think I'm leaning aggressive Tri-Lane at this point. Hellborn have gone Empath, Prisoner 945, and Bubbles, so solid Prisoner pick there. Also, presumably for that mid-initiator role, Bubbles hopefully will be played as a suicide. I don't like short lane Bubbles. I've made that clear, I think. But we'll see. Obviously, Prisoner, one of the better initiating heroes in the game with that hook. Prison Break makes him extremely powerful in teamfights, actually. A little more powerful than most people realize, I believe. Had sort of a day in the sun in the competitive scene before people realize he's not that good. I think he still does have a place, but certainly a more situational pickup, and Dirty Boys feeling like this is a situation. Bans are out. Moon Queen, Sandwraith, and Gemini from Imboy being taken out. So heavy bans on carries there. Presumably, they do not want their opponents to go late game, as I guess that really indicates more and more of a tri-lane here. They want to shut down the Hellborn late game, and so far it looks like they've done that with Rally being the 4th pick. There's really no late game hero. Also no late game on Legion side either, so that will be more time for both Fade and Succubus, their 4th pick, to be able to wreak havoc, as obviously those are really mid-game centric heroes. They don't do as well when we get to that 45-minute hour mark, so we'll see how things go for Legion, but so far a solid enough team. Hellborn bans are Kraken, Lodestone, and Pandemonium. All strength melee heroes. Lodestone, a bit more of a suicide, can be played in the mid, no doubt, a very strong initiator, and a generally annoying tank. Would fit Legion's side fairly well, I guess. I don't think they're going to run Lodestone just because I think the aggressive tri-lane is going to be coming out, so they're better mid heroes, they're definitely better short lane heroes. Kraken, a little more sensible, does pretty well in mid or short. I don't think, again, that's really what they're going for, but a possibility. Pandemonium's a little off the wall. We almost never see Panda, and as far as I know, Reason have not been extremely interested in running Panda, so not really sure why Drumsy on the captain's role for Dirty Boys is really adamant about not wanting to face that hero, but evidently doesn't feel like it's good to be fighting. Last 2 picks here for Legion will be Succubus and Madman. So Imboy is going to be on that Madman, it looks like. So he'll probably be in the short lane. Zane, I suspect, will be in the middle, and this is going to be a tri-lane. I can pretty much guarantee it now because Madman does come as a suicide occasionally, but I don't think they're going to run a suicide Madman on Imboy. If it was Zane, I would say yes. The only thing that I'm thinking right now is Zane is playing that Succubus, and Succubus has been known to suicide, so we could actually be seeing a safe lane tri-lane here. Considering they have 2 strong defensive suicides in Bubbles and Rally, I don't like that idea, and I think if they start out with it, they're going to regret it a little bit, just because their laning is not going to be, it's not going to be worth it. Tri-lanes need kills, you know, like that's how those supports are going to get levels and a bit of gold. In the dual lane, at least they get some levels, but in the tri-lane, they're going to end up massively under-leveled, and that ends up being a problem later on, obviously, as they just get picked off. And the Hellborn have burst damage. Rally, Bubbles, even Prisoner to some extent have some burst damage, so if NG and Torture are massively underleveled in the late game, they're going to suffer pretty hard. So this is looking frighteningly like a defensive tri-lane instead of an aggressive tri-lane. Obviously defensive tri-lane in a short lane as opposed to the long lane. And I'm really not interested in that, especially considering Succubus' suicide potential is really not that good. It's not like, oh, well, we got Succubus, she's so good in the suicide lane, we cannot possibly put her short. I don't really like Succubus in the short lane, but it's better than a suicide, I think, especially considering the presence of this strong tri-lane here on Legion side. Regardless, last 2 heroes on Hellborn are Rally and Swiftblade, so we'll see what they do with that. Again, I'm suspecting it's going to be a Bubbles suicide, and now I'm not... This is going to be roaming Swiftblade. It's kind of got to be. It could be a support Rally. But I guess the way this lines up right now, I'd suspect Bubbles suicide, Rally, and Swiftblade in the short lane, plus Prisoner Empath mid. I don't know. Hellborn's lanes are weird. Their lineup's weird. This is strange. I don't like it. Swiftblade's got a hatchet, so he's not roaming. Rally has a ward and a stout shield, so this is sort of looking like a suicide Rally. He has 6 tangos and 2 wards, which were both pooled, so I'm not sure what they're doing here. Bubbles with plenty of regen himself, heading toward mid lane. And they're going to go tri-lane top. So this is going to be an aggressive tri-lane from Legion. That's much better. I was afraid they were going to run the defensive. They are not. I think I'd prefer Succubus mid instead of Imboy on that Madman, especially considering... Well, I mean, we have God Vision, so we know Rally's there, so yeah. With the assumption that Bubbles is suicide, and that's probably the better laning decision from Hellborn, I think that Legion have set up their lanes appropriately. Hellborn, not so much. Especially this suicide, or this Swiftblade up here top. I don't know what this is about. I guess we'll see, but counterward actually being counterwarded. And obviously Hellborn getting more auto attacks off, so they're better able to take out their opponent's D-ward. And a regular ward of sight placed up here for the rune. Lane ward placed bottom, so Succubus will have some vision. Rally managing to already get in deep and place that ward in the pole camp, as well as a rune ward on bot river. So both sides expending their words of sight quite early. This is one thing I don't like. If you're going to put it in the camp here, get a red ward. Like, there's no reason for that to be a warded site. Warded sites have way more utility than just being used to block a camp there. Obviously, they do last a little longer, so they get the pole blocked for longer, but I don't know. I never really think it's worth it to waste a warded site there. If you're the kind of person that likes it inside the trees, which is fine, like, that's a perfectly reasonable strat, I would say that it's better to use a rev ward because they're less critical, especially in the early game. Rally going to pull the creeps back here behind the tower. We'll get lane control as a result and quite a lot of CS. He should pick up all of these, so nice decision there. Legion going to grab some semblance of lane control up here. Is it Swifty and Empath over here? Prisoner pulling... How the... Oh, he... Okay. He hooked the creeps into the... Wow. This is kind of awesome. So he hooked this hard camp over to the lane, and he's going to use his own creeps to farm it now, which will guarantee him experience, if not the CS. And he managed to stack the camp at the same time. So this is actually going to be a jungle prisoner. This is cool. I like this. I like the thought process, the innovation. Saint Rocks, dude. Burning Shadows there onto Swifty. Not going to do much as the wall comes out. Meanwhile, on bottom, Succubus still level 2 as the creep pull has hurt her experience gain a little bit. And Rally doing quite well on levels and farm for himself. Succubus down here at 6-0 compared to Rally's 7-2, so no doubt Rally having a slightly better time. And obviously as a suicide hero, that's quite nice. With that sleep actually coming out consistently, he might be have some issues. Death Brawl up top actually dying as I'm just doing stuff. And he will get spun and walled off, plus the hook back in. And Prisoner will pick up the kill onto Fade, trying to get a counter kill on Swiftblade. That's not going to happen, and now Torture might be a little overzealous. Will be alright, but both supports here on Legion are massively low. So they're going to have to heal up if they want to jump the Swiftblade. Obviously, really, in this lane, Swiftblade's really powerful, because if they don't stagger their stuns perfectly, if they don't get all their stuns out staggered perfectly, then the overlap is going to prevent them from killing Swift, I think, with Empath there. So if they air on, actually, nice wall, that's going to trap Engie. Oh, that was beautiful. Now they're going to try to get a counter kill on Swiftblade, and they're going to get it here. Burning Shadows is available, so that's going to cost Swiftblade his life. One more auto attack, there it is. Torture off to the side now, trying to get some damage on the Empath, runs right in the creep wave, and that's not going to do it. So 1 for 1 there, obviously favoring Legion as they lost their tri-lane Engie for the opponent's carry. But very nice wall from Empath. Always like to see awesome Empath walls. They're so much fun. I love that hero. Wall blocking off Fade here. And they're going to probably try to go for a kill here. Prisoner's coming in with the hook. Has the shackle. And there's the hook back. Will actually miss. They're trying to get the body blocks here so Swifty can get a spin up. Turret coming out and will stop anybody from going in. Now, Empath in some trouble. Barely takes the chain reactions and the keg. She's dead. Couple auto attacks later. So big missed hook from Prisoner there. It's kind of hard to imagine how, because it was a shackled Fade with no boots. Or now she does have boots. Regardless. A bit of an error there. Prisoner already having a bottle. Looking for top rune. Madman stalks in. He will not get it as Invis bottled up by Prisoner. So well done there. Now actually, Madman here in a bit of trouble. No hook from Prisoner. Will completely miss. Meanwhile, on bot, Zane actually dies. Rally going at it one-on-one, and the health pot not enough to save him. Not to mention, we had bubbles coming in off to the side, so no matter what, that was going to be a death on Succubus. Instead, it's the Suicide Rally doing really, really well here, as Succubus is at 200 gold per minute, and Rally's actually now the highest farm in the game. So things looking good for Hellmore, and Burning Shadows and Keg there on top. Actually, Fade gets hooked back in, so Swifty going to take a bunch of damage, but will spin. Now Fade's taking a lot of damage. Awfully concerned. Turret goes out. They're trying to get the kill once again. Health pot is immediately canceled. Wall comes out on Fade once more, and she's like, where do I go? What do I do? Looking for something. Burning Shadow's on the 2, actually. Now they're going to turn this on Empath. Essence Link coming out. They're going to try a nice kill on Fade, so Empath Fragilize for Fade. Madman coming up here. We'll put the barrel roll down on top of the chain reactions now. Prisoner's going to fall. Shackle onto Madman, but that's not going to stop him. We'll slow him down a bit, but it's not going to stop him. So 2-for-1 trade there in favor of Legion as they're sort of trying to recover this tri-lane here. And off to the side, Swiftblade in tons of trouble. Will activate the spin. Turret going out, trying to stop some stuff. Now, not a great wall there as Torture is looking for a kill. Will get it on the Swiftblade. And meanwhile, on bot, Zane falls once again as it's the Seismic Slam. Yep, there, and the Seismic Slam. Just too low health on Zane. Meanwhile, up top, so there goes the Swifty kill. Now they're hunting down this Empath. Essence Link going off, so they sort of know where she is. Barrel roll there will do a lot of damage, and that's going to be the kill. So Immoboy getting a double tap. That's certainly a very profitable trip up top as he gets 2 kills and 1 assist. Bubbles getting the kill field down here onto Engineer. Will get the kill as the Shell Surf, and 1 more auto attack is enough. He just dies to the creeps. So 6-6 hero kills down, slight gold lead and experience lead in favor of Hellborn, as Legion's tri-lane is not doing very well. This is a pretty ugly combination, as actually they do kill top tower somehow. This is really a pretty ugly combination for them up top, because between the Empath wall disrupting the team, the stuns, and the Swiftblade spins, meaning that either they stack their stuns a little too much and they don't have enough damage, or a little too little and he has time in between to sit there, mash Q, and eventually spin, take normal magic damage, and he'll be fine. So, Legion tri-lane is certainly very powerful, but that Swiftblade Empath combination is doing quite well against it. Torture's already level 6, which is impressive. Wall going out there, and will stop Fade there, plus the Essence Link. He's trying to juke it, and actually will do so fairly successfully. Takes the stun. Burning Shadow's on the 2. Prisoner going to hook in at Torture, and now Swiftblade's still in some trouble as the Impalement's doing a lot of damage. They're going to try to get a kill on Torture here. We'll have the stun go off. That's going to be it, though. Burning Shadow's obviously available from Fade, and she's looking for something. Prisoner wanting to throw another hook and get Torture, not going to happen. Madman off to the side, looking for a jump, possibly a cleanup on somebody. Rift stock available. Or just stock available. Hook coming in, will grab Fade, but that's actually going to be bad. Puts the call out. And she does not have a stun. Wall blocks her off, and now she's in some trouble. Swiftblade spin coming in. And he just completely misses. Essence Link is there, though. A couple more auto attacks. Burning Shadows will be on both of them, but Swifty just going to fall as the barrel finishes him off. And the Empath going to drop. So Prisoner also falling before to Madman with the stock. And that's 3-for-1 in favor of Legion. All of a sudden, they have a massive gold lead. So active game here. Fun stuff. Bubbles off to the side in the observatory, looking for something. As Madman will head back middle. Rally once again putting a Seismic Slam there, but there's the Hard Egg. Meanwhile, up top, Clanks on that Bubbles does finish off, as that's why. The lane ward, well done and nicely sniped with the Shell Surf. Meanwhile, bot, it looks like Zane does not have enough mana to do much of anything. But with the sleep, really, if he had positioned himself a little bit better, he might have been able to get a kill. He also could have died, so that sort of shows you where this bot lane is at. Zane is actually afraid to man up on this rally because it's dangerous. Like, he's died twice. Invis rune on NG, so he will be alright, and will be able to deny the invis from Rally. Keg and Turret coming out. Propel available, but not going to happen in enough time as the barrel finishes him off. 10-8 now in favor of Legion as they have both the gold and experience lead. Prisoner down here, only level 4. So Jungle Prisoner was a cool strat. Now he's tied for the lowest level in the game. Now he's 5, so still pretty close. Not really sure it's working out the best. So I think the original, it wasn't really meant to like permanently jungle. He was just going to take some creep waves so that he could grab some levels without disturbing Swifty and Empath. They could also get levels, give themselves a bit of an experience advantage, then he'd come to the lane. Stock in from Immoboy, and he will be okay. Dust going out on top of the kelp field. Now he's in some trouble. Shellsurf song in the sea, plus the Essence Link and the Shackle, so they'll continue to have vision. Nice hook back in, and that's going to be his death. Oh god. Oh god. There we go.
Is loose.
Off to the side, Torture is here, not invisible, just Ghost Marchers. Refreshment Rune is there, just pick it up. And they're going to find him. Empath will see him here, activates the Impalement. There goes the Essence Link. Actually, chain reactions hit, but now Torture's in a lot of trouble, basically dead. A little too aggressive there. Trying to kill that empath and getting a little close, but not close enough really. War to Psycho now will spot the Swiftblade. There's Succubus and Engineer up top. Looking for an ult, I think. Prisoner off to the side though. And Will, yep, now get the hook. There it is. Will pull both of them in. Swiftblade spinning too early. And he will just leave, I think. No, they're going to try this ultimate there on Engie. He's still going to die. Nice keg stun, but the Shell Surf's on the obviously finishes him off, and Succubus will be able to get away. Meanwhile, Fade has a reflection active, looking for something, but not going to find it. Zane trolling Imboboy in the middle. Up top, Reflection Fade. Gonna jump in here onto the Swiftblade. Will do a lot of damage, actually, and he will get the kill. That was surprising how much damage you did to that Swifty. Only 115 health, and it was already pretty low, plus the entire Fade combo. It does hit really hard, but I was not expecting that to be a kill. Mid tower getting pushed in will be in favor of Elysian, as it is well below the range at which Hellborn can do anything about it. Meanwhile, 2 heroes from the Hellborn side coming in, looking for a jump onto somebody. Prisoner Hook just his Torturer, and he's totally screwed. Shell Surf, and that's it. Bubbles actually going to jump in now onto 3, taking a bunch of damage. We'll take the keg and die. Compel Stun is in there, gets stunned out, actually was slept, in fact, by the Compel, and it gets, or this, by the Succubus, it gets taken off. Ultimate there from Engie will silence and purge that rally, but obviously Red Ward there. The Chew jumped in, and there's a Compel as well. Seismic Slam will take out Death Growl, so Imboboy trying to run away. He will be successful. Succubus perhaps not so much. Stock available. Dust goes out though, and now he's possibly in some trouble. Compel is available in a second, but will get slept. Empath now in some trouble. Is actually going to die despite putting the wall out. Chain reactions under rally. He will wake up, but there goes Prisoner in the background, and he has the Compel again. Is it going to be enough? A little bit more. I think Madman will have the distance to finish this off. Power supply is there. Keg not going to hit. Just slowed a little bit. Nice push book. The stock. Silence. Oh my god. Shell Surf. Okay, that was interesting. I don't know why Bubbles did that. I don't know why Rally did that, but I don't know why Bubbles played it the way he did. If he'd Shell Surf like way earlier, then he would have been totally fine. They're going to chase down this Engineer. Should get him. Oh, that's painful. Shell Surf there onto Torture, but he pops the power supply. Meanwhile, Attila dies on top of the Song of the Sea. Swiftblade Slash is hitting mostly neutral creeps, as he just popped out at the wrong time. SS Link going will actually stun Succubus here. There's no follow-up though, so I don't know what Empath's plan is. And he's just going to wait here on Succubus. Shell Surf going off. Actually, Kelpfield is available, so it took a while to get here, but they're there. Hook back in will miss. Succubus still in a lot of trouble, but the Impalement helping to turn it around. She is going to fall. Now Torture is in some trouble. Doing some damage to this Bubbles, but Bubbles doesn't really seem to care. One more auto attack, and that's going to be it.
What you gonna do about it?
I'm enjoying this game. It's pretty much continuous action. DD Madman now looking to clean up some kills. Prisoner's there, pops the dust, puts the shackle and the ultimate, but Madman so much damage with that DD, and now Bubbles should be frightened. As the Shell Surf will pour it on out. Empath not going to be so lucky. You're screwed there, good buddy. Unless you have a beautiful wall. Nicely done. That's what we were looking for here. Essence Link going to go out. Might actually kill this Madman. It is going to kill him. Madman gets the kill first, but Empath's certainly pretty okay with that, taking 435 gold off of him, boy. That was a very, very good wall. But meanwhile, stuff is going down, and I'm missing it over here. So Rally trying to get something off, and Hook coming in will actually kill Fade, but Rally dies in the meantime. Push Book forward, we'll get the shackle onto Torture, and he's going to put the chain reaction to the Prisoner. It's not going to matter, I don't think. Shell Surfs is up in 2 seconds. Actually, ultimate there on Bubbles, and now he's going to fall, so it will matter. Bubbles going to be able to take the death here, and Torture just does survive. Over here, Prisoner running away with the Striders, and he'll be alright. The action just doesn't stop, man. It's great. 14 minutes in, though. 19-18 hero kill lead here for Legion. They are just ahead in resources. And things are looking pretty damn even. Take a look at the GPM. Bubbles at 406. Nobody else on the Hellborn side above 220. So that's interesting. Nobody on the Legion side below 220, and Madman up at 380, so much more spread farm here on Legion, and I think that's going to benefit them a lot as this game progresses. Swifty in particular has 222 gold per minute and needs a lot more than that, but there's been so much fighting he hasn't had time to farm. Hook and will miss Succubus. As Rally's looking for an opening, has the Seismic Slam, but one more level until it's level 2, so probably want to wait to use it. In middle, meanwhile, Imboy taking the Kelpfield stun over here. Empath is invisible coming in off the side, and will get the dust off, plus the Essence Link. Now Imboy in a lot of trouble. Prisoners here as well, and that's just going to be a death. So Slashes, once again, choosing an awful time to use those. You've got 5 creeps there from the Legion, or 4 creeps or whatever, and 1 hero, and you choose to use Swift Slashes? That's, why do you think, how lucky do you think you're going to get? Like, just no. Stop it. Bottom lane, 3 heroes grouped up here looking for a pick onto Zane. Not going to find it as he backs off in time. Realizing what's coming. Prisoner off to the side will spot NG. Hook over here will completely whiff. Up top, Fade in a little trouble as Empath is here, so is Torture though, so going to spot each other out while going down, actually doing a good job to block Fade, but she's got the reflection active, so she's totally fine. And everybody will choose not to engage. Fade perhaps not looking for a jump onto somebody. Empath and Swifty, the only ones really who are close enough. Swifty probably can't kill, and Empath is too close to a tower. Hellborn team meanwhile converging onto middle and Zane, who is going to be fine as he's hasted. Porlicky picked up on Fade. So clearly going more of the initiation route. With 320 gold per minute, she might be able to go to the Codex here, but obviously would have had to start building it up by now. Would have most of it, but it's still a little bit late. Of course, she has a number of targets. Really, probably everybody on the Hellborn team would get at least close to death. Definitely Empath and Bubbles would die. Legion grouped as 5 in the mid lane. Countering some stuff is Empath, the Word of Rev. So good, impressive play from Empath here. She's been very powerful. And jumping in here on Bubbles with the stun, but actually Fade gets pulled back in. Empath Bubbles gonna die right after that. There goes Rally, but Fade gets picked off in the background. Port coming in on the side, and that's Bubbles once again, apparently bought back. Kelpfield goes on to 2. Shell Surf going to hit a couple as well, but that's not enough. Madman gets hooked back in, and St. Rocks dies to Swiftblade. We put the Swift Flashes down. Now Spin coming in, trying to get this Engineer. It will happen as there's the wall, so Turret going down, trying to save himself. It's not going to make a difference. Bubbles now chasing down this Madman. As he's going to stalk in and run away. Activates the bottle off the side. Succubus looking for something. Now Bubbles will find him. Dust going on to Madman here, so he's in some trouble. Barrel Roll actually going to do a lot, and trying to kill this Empath not going to happen with a nice wall. And now Hellborn going to back out. Swiftblade here. Perhaps can get jumped. Activates the magic of the spin, and he'll be fine. Rally over here again looking for an engagement. So experience now pretty much even, as the gold lead has stayed around 2,000. And this game's relatively even. I think Legion are in a better position just because their carry has the farm, as opposed to the Bubbles on the Hellborn team. And Swifty's getting a little bit of recovery here, but not too much. 275 gold per minute at 18 minutes in is not the best. And Swifty's another hero that needs lots of farm in order to carry. He's not really the hardest carry in the world, so if he wants to be able to beat a guy that does all the damage, it's going to take quite a lot of items. So we've entered a bit of a lull phase here, it seems, as we are decidedly in the mid-game. Both teams obviously having surprisingly strong, or really strong mid-game teams, not even surprisingly. Succubus Fade on the Legion side doing very well. and Bubbles, and really Rally and Swiftblade all somewhat mid-game heroes, so is Prisoner for that matter, so Hellborn side perhaps a little more concerning whether or not they can take this to late game. Madman on Legion side basically guarantees that they can. So they're pretty okay with the just farm strat. Obviously Rev Ward here will easily be able to counter that Ward of Sight which is just placed. As 4 out of 5 heroes down here on Hellborn are hanging around the bot tower and the Ancients. Gonna stack this first. Creeps just stole 50 gold from Prisoner. It's notable that Legion have lost 0 towers. And none of these are really actually all that hurt. Nothing below half health. Hellborn have lost 2 mid and top. Still in possession of their bottom first tier tower. Swifty up here looking to get jumped. Level 11 Succubus and Fade. He's just totally screwed. Port's coming in trying to support him, but it's not going to be nearly in time. As our Stealing Prisoner finishes his. Bot lane Madman is doing pretty well down here, where Ward of Rev gets dropped off to the side. Bubbles and Rally perhaps looking for a jump. Kelpfield goes down there, Bear Roll active as well. Stock gets put up. And 2 ports down here to save Madman, and actually now let Hellborn who like, I don't like this anymore. I'm afraid of this game. Paul's coming out, but we got auto skip Paul, so who gives a crap? Replay casts, bitch. 4 heroes now, actually 5, sorry, for the Legion, as it looks like they're going to try to push down this tier 1 tower. Should be relatively easy. They have a Ballista in this wave, and they're all here. Hook going to miss on Torture. Glyph goes off a little early, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. And it does not. So Hellborn gradually falling behind here, and not sure how much they can do to come back. I mean, Legion are really easy to support. It's easier for them to support each other because all their towers are up. They need to. I think Hellborn need to assert some map control here. It's 21 minutes in. They haven't taken a tower. They haven't done too much damage to a tower, much less actually killed it. So, and not really a powerful tower killing team. I think they do need to group up here and take a couple of towers, particularly the mid and bot ones, just to at least open up a Legion jungle. Because right now they're totally protected inside their jungle. And they're taking advantage of that. Meanwhile, Hellborn's jungle is relatively exposed. Three Madmen up in middle. As Hellborn are doing Ancients together. Swifty getting most of these CS as he needs to. Has the Abyssal Skull on top of the Energizer, so choosing to go to Abyssal Skull is a little bit of an interesting build there. Not one I would have gone for. I don't mind the Shroud actually. It's a funny build. It's pretty solid. Dawnbringer's always a popular choice. So is Cleave in order to enhance the farm. I think he would have gotten Cleave well too late. So it's a good thing he didn't go for that. But Dawnbringer would have been better than this. Definitely, I think Shroud as well would have been better. Just for a little more gank potential and escape, as he is not very fast, and the rest of the Legion team is pretty good at ganking stuff with Fade and Succubus. Up top, they're looking for a jump here on Fade. They're not going to find it. Shellsurf going off there just out of range as Fade runs away. So Hellborn more or less moving as one. The train is in full effect here, and I can understand why. They're getting continuously picked off when they go by themselves, as Legion's warding is pretty good. One here mid, one here in the jungle, so somewhat aggressive. Hellborn's just the opposite, one here and one at the bottom rune, so much more defensive. Empath's going to get jumped over here. Actually, Kelpfield hits nothing as Fade portal keys away. Nice push book over the wall, and now Fade's still in trouble as she's actually going to die thanks to the Rev Ward here. Activated the reflection, but you're not invis if you're sitting on top of a Rev Ward. Nice pick. And they really need to convert this into a push, but instead Swiftblade's going to left to farm this top lane, and the rest of the Hellborn team is going to sort of walk around. They really need tower kills here, man. Like, we're gonna be approaching 25 minutes here, and you've killed 0 towers. Off to the side, Empath can get caught by Succubus Illusions, but not too dangerous as they are fake. So things have really settled down. not too much continuous fighting. It's mostly just heroes farming. It's too bad. The beginning of this game was extremely action-packed. It was a lot of fun. NG warding bottom. So Legion have a pretty clear game plan. It's, you know, get decent farm on all their heroes, but prioritize Madman, so he'll be able to carry us, and he's going to do precisely that. Hellborn have a similar idea with Swiftblade, but it's not going to work as well. A, because he's already pretty far behind, and B, because Madman will carry harder than Swiftblade, especially considering the lockdown from Legion is superior to the lockdown from Hellborn. Hellborn have decent stuns, but nothing crazy awesome. Legion, of course, have a ton of stuns, and Succubus has multiple disables on her own, so... Really, between their entire team, Succubus has 2 disables, and there's stuns each on Fade, Torture, and Engineer. Up on top, Fade gonna jump this Empath, and will just die. Rev Ward here will counter the Ward of Sight. Up here, Ambaboy gonna pressure this top tower, will respond with a port, and he's just gonna stalk away, will be totally fine. Rally coming in here to defend. And this is what Hellborn should be doing too. Like, this is, you know, Ambaboy's just sieging this tower down a little bit, up here. Swiftblade putting the ultimate down on Attila, and he will get a kill. Attila was sort of trying to ult, but I guess decided not to. Prisoner picking up the Ring of Sorcerer at 25 minutes, and his farm has been awful. 200 gold per minute, has Strider's Bottle, Gravelock, and a Ring of Sorcery. Just not a great game for him. Empath obviously sitting on mostly support stuff. We've got Rally got a nice job top, missing the Compel there after he portal keys in. It's a very nice portal key. Fade actually does hit the Burning Shadows, but gets hooked in. Plus the ultimate. Gonna put the Void Stone up. That's gonna prevent all of the physical damage from Prisoner, as apparently his ultimate as well. Dust going out onto Fade, activates the Reflection, not gonna be a huge deal. Wall coming out, and will be compelled over with the Seismic Slam, just enough to kill her. If I only had a brain, is that what he said? I'm not sure which version of Fade that is. Apparently he wants a brain. Bubbles can take a stun here down. Bot so that Torturer can live. Meanwhile, Madman sort of seeing this Empath. Will stalk into Prisoner. Hook going off, and he's just like, whatever. This Madman did in fact go for Cleave. I didn't even notice that. Rest of Legion's items, of course, Abyssal Skull, Energizer, Steam Boots on Swifty. He should have something else. As he had that a while ago and has been farming decently enough. So, I don't know what else he's got, but 1100 gold should not be the extent of his riches right now. And I don't think he's died either, so... He did get picked off by Succubus and Fade, but that was a while ago. Bubbles has Bottle and Push Book, so there's a Shroud on Swifty. I like that. I like that a lot. Going to provide solid initiation and a getaway mechanism, as well as some chase. Triple stacked Ancients here going to be done by the Hellborn team. Off to the side, Death Growl getting jumped, plus the hook and the Seismic Slam just there. Will put the Essence Sling up to actually do some damage, considering the Void Stone is up, and there goes the wall to help finish him off. He just wants a brain, man. I'm really curious what that Fade ult is. Here. So I heard stuff. Sorry, I'm taking a break because I really want to know this. Gypsy Fade, is that what it is? No. Glorious Fade. Yeah, buddy. Scarecrow Fade. That's what it is. That's why he wants a brain. This Lion wanted courage, and the Tin Man wanted a heart. And Scarecrow was fucking stupid, so he wanted a brain. Some of these also make so much sense. Like, why Scarecrow Fade? What is it about Fade that lends herself to a Scarecrow? I don't know. I'm not like disparaging S2 or something like that. I think for the most part they've done a pretty good job with the alt avatars. There's so many of them that half the time I don't realize what heroes I'm playing against, but they're still fun. Speaking of that Scarecrow, going to activate the Reflection here. We'll scout out the entire Hellborn team. No Wards of Rev available as Stalk going to come in from Madman. They're looking for an opening here. And it will be on Rally. And he's going to die pretty much immediately. Hook coming in onto Imbaboy. Will activate the Shrunken Head. Wall going off, plus the ultimate from Swifty, and that is an easy kill. onto Imboboy. Ultimate on Swift there as well. Chain Reaction's not going to do anything because that's a magic immune target. Faye jumping in the background, trying to pick off this Empath. Hook misses. Empath jumping inside of Swiftblade, so she'll be fine. And that looks like actually Assassin's Shroud plus Dust going off. Now they're going to get this Engineer as the wall goes off, and he's in a ton of trouble. Faye jumping in off to the side, though. Shell Surf coming in as Bubbles is trying to somehow live. Essence Link onto Tilla there, and he's going to drop. Ring Shadow's just onto Swifty, though, and now he's going to take a bunch of damage. In fact, Essence Link now onto Faye, but it's not going to matter. They pick off Swifty. Empath in a ton of trouble. She's going to drop as well. Puts the wall down, trying to live, in fact, just barely living. Meanwhile, Bubbles on the side dies. Faye going to drop as Empath manages to survive somehow, pops the power supply, and oh god, he wants to live. There's the Agonizing Bombs, one auto attack, that's it.
Absolutely spiffy.
Empath has been impressive, man. It's been some pretty awesome plays from her. So that was a pretty impactful team fight there, as Legion lost most of their experience lead, and they still have a pretty solid gold lead, but haven't really expanded it. And Imboboy dying there, he's now 9, 4, and 5, so obviously still a very good Heroes Goal scorer, but pretty big deal that he dies. As, once again, I'm just concerned about the Swiftblade. 340 gold per minute at 30 minutes into the game is not good. Madman at 440 isn't even that good either, considering he has a cleave. Like, it's good, it's fine. It's not the greatest. We've seen plenty of better scores from that. And Imboboy going to do some damage to these Ancients. Will run away. Word of Sight obviously seeing what he's doing, so Swiftblade's like, thank you, I'll clean these. Thanks for doing a little bit of damage to him. Swifty clearly going for this, well, not clearly going for the Shrunken Head. Could be an Ice Brand into a Dawnbringer or even a Frostbolt. Well, they're onto creeps as Prisoner's using the tower to help him farm. Over here, Madman will start to farm out the Hellborn jungle because, once again, it's hard to stop this when all your towers are dead. Because Imboboy's just never going to be scared enough. They can't get enough support in there in time. So, like, if two heroes catch him out here, and you have the top tower available, then two more can port in, and while they're porting in, they lock him down, and the two more help lock him down as well. Now, if two heroes catch him out here, they have to kill him, because they're not getting help. Regen Rune here, going to be bottled, or just taken, in fact, by Succubus, as she does not have a bottle. Madman, the only one on this Legion side that does have a bottle. So, once again, Hellborn items, Storm Spirit there on Bubbles, so certainly going utility build. Nothing much else picked up since last time we talked. Imboboy up top has a DD active and is perhaps looking to get jumped. Assassin's Shroud and Energizer going off from Swifty, but Madman will pop his own Energizer, not feeling right about what's going on. Obviously, Ward of Sight over here scouting what was happening, so he saw the gank coming in. Legion, meanwhile, Madman does have that cleave, and of course, Shrunken Head we saw in that last game, plus the Energizer. Puzzle Box and Portal Key on Succubus, so she's going to be an initiation hero, and will be extremely annoying to deal with, especially with that Shroud on Hook in there, will not hit Enchi. With the Shroud on Swiftblade, it's going to be a little less helpful with the Puzzle Box minions being able to see him. And of course, Steam Boots, Mystic Vestments, and Power Supply, so some pretty typical utility items. PK in from Rally, not going to be able to get the Compel off, as Succubus ports away, with the Mauler and the Wizard helping her push. And that's actually an overlooked thing. Like, if you don't have strong push, Puzzle Box does push pretty damn hard. At level 3, those minions do a lot. Madman's Cleaver just raining gold on him for 60 GPM now. Swiftblade Invis over here with Empath inside of him, looking for Madman, and we'll find him there. Gonna put the stock off and the dust, but is there gonna be enough? Wall coming out. A little miscommunication there, it seems like. As Imboboy has to activate the Shrunken Head to get away, but he will survive. In fact, he probably didn't need to, but certainly don't want to be going in hindsight. Oh, I died. I probably should have shrunken. Engineer now sitting on Major Shield on top, Steam Boots, Mana Battery, and some supporty stuff, so I'm suspecting that will be a push book. I believe it also could be a storm spirit. I don't know. I don't remember. Off to the side, meanwhile. Shoot, what have I done now? It's Rally getting picked off. Succubus ultimate, and that's it. So there should be a way to like right-click this item or control-click it or something like that and see it stop. Meanwhile, Faye jumping in here onto I don't even know that empath. I can't even tell. Ultimate going out there from Prisoner, and he's getting trapped inside the NG ultimate, and that's going to be his death over here. Bubbles and Swiftblade figuring can't do anything about that. Mauler and Wizard here will be taken out by the tower, so Notre Dame is taken by Bubbles, and they will stop this bot push. But obviously a strong engagement there from Legion as they pick off 3 heroes, lose nobody, and get up to grab a tower on top of it. Ancient's going to be cleaned up by Torturer here, relatively easily. As Storm Spirit does not have Major Totem in it, so it is going to be a push book. Yep, it is a push book. Aha, okay. I did it. I don't know why I couldn't remember it was in Storm Spirit for a second, but I couldn't. Whatever. So NG push book now over to the side. Rally getting caught out by Imboboy and Succubus. Swiftblade putting the ultimate down, but too many heroes, so it bounces everywhere. Now he's going to be in some trouble. Is magic immune, but not physical immune. Bubbles, meanwhile, putting the take color down, and going to try to get away, but also Succubus ultimate finish him off. Imboboy does kill Swiftblade. Shackle off to the hook there by Fade, and there's a chain reaction. Supposed to bring shadows. And Pamela going out, and the keg. This is going to be a death from Prisoner. Empath trying to get the kill onto Fade here. Essence Link doing plenty of damage, but it is going to be enough with the wall, in fact, so well done, Empath, once again. Storm Spirit, as Bubbles did, in fact, buy back for the second time, and now he's going to die for the second time. No mana! Oh god. Nearly got away, because Torturer's mana ran out. But that's actually the second time this game that Bubbles has died, bought back, and died immediately. Mid tower going to fall to Imboboy here. Off to the side, Torture going to pour it out, as he had no mana. And Empath is the left as the sole guardian of her own base, and I don't think that's going to matter too much to Imboboy, as he's up to 500 gold per minute, and very powerful here, having finished off the Basher. Fade opposite with the Void Totem, as meanwhile Compel in onto Succubus, plus the Essence Link stun, but they don't really care too much. Wall not doing too much there either. Imboboy and Succubus clean up free blade, and this is going to go for Rax? No. Swifty and Prisoner are both up right now, so they're not figuring it's worth it. Succubus has Puzzle Box 3. So Succubus killing that Mauler, or sorry, Swiftblade killing that Mauler, taking a bunch of damage. Rift Shards on Madman, so he's going to hit like a truck. 239 damage already, haven't even been delivered yet. Hellborn running through their own woods, gonna find Succubus here, put the shackle on top, and the ultimate on the wall. She puts herself to sleep. Prisoner takes it off. There's a seismic slam. This is taking a long time. Man, the heartache is there. Ultimate from Swifty will finally kill him. Torture off to the side, looking for something, but Courage on Empath immediately drops. Madman has a shrunken up and a stalk. Storm Spirit there onto Swifty, and he's going to get compelled out, in fact. Kegstun just hits one as take cover was off on Bubbles. Rally going to fall, Shell Surf available, and he'll try to live, plus the push book. Getting Bubbles away. Meanwhile, Faye jumping in on Prisoner. That's going to be Burning Shadows and a death onto him, pretty much no question. Hook back in will actually hit Empath, or Madman, but he doesn't care. In fact, that probably helped him. And now this is going to be a mid-Rax. And probably a bot-Rax, too.
A Hellborn barracks has been destroyed.
So, Bubbles off to the side, throwing the Shell Surf. Just not doing nearly enough. Storm Spirit going out there, plus to take cover. As there's a jump onto both Torture and Bubbles at the same time. Torture in a little more danger, in fact, but they will both be okay, as Shell Surf goes out. Will snipe Fade, but he pops the Void Stone for some reason. So Fade, by the way, sitting on a Bulwark, Portal Key, Void Stone. So a typical Fade build. Bulwark. Common.
Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Standard. I don't know what the hell that is. Envoy activating a Shrunken Head for no reason. Reflection up on Fade as she's perhaps looking for a pick. Empath is off by herself over here. And if Fade goes south a little bit, They will see her. She manages to drop a ward of sight. Fade over here, just instead scouting out the Swiftblade. St. Rox is here, perhaps looking for initiation. Burning Shadows are there on the Swifty. We'll just pour it out instead. So just going to do some chip damage there. Empath going to get walled off this Succubus and not allow herself to be initiated on. Rift Shards 2, picked up by Imbuoy now, hitting for 300 damage, and plus the crits. So that's frightening. Acolyte Staff on Torturer, so he's clearly going Sheepstick on top of the Pushbook, Gnome's Wisdom, Ghost Marchers, and Bloodstone. This is a farmed freaking Torturer. 350 gold per minute on St. Rox, what the hell? He's 115 CS. It's a lot. That's, you know, presumably a support Torturer. Not anymore. That's half a carry tort. Imbuoy cleaning up mid. Succubus with the invis coming in will lock down bubbles and jump out, which will result in a death on rally as the Kelp Field and Energy Field both go down. Empath going to jump inside that Swiftblade. Will put the spin off, but now he's going to die to physical damage. Wall there, but the bash helps. Barrel going to slow down Empath here. Not going to be enough as Madman doesn't know who to go for. Will choose Bubble Storm Spirit there, but it's still going to be his death. Hook in, going to miss. And Imbuoy did actually get stunned, I believe, there by the Kelp Field. There's the CC vote. Not a huge surprise. Legion are up pretty massively, 28k or so in both Golden Experience. Burning Shadows on 2, in fact, there. Now Imbuoy will two-shot. Wow, two-shotting Empath, hook back in, not gonna matter. As just gonna kill him. Annihilation. That's funny. So, 41-minute game here, 43-31 hero kills in favor of Reason. Certainly the favored team coming in, you would think, considering they finished 3rd overall in Haunter Season 2. But Hellborn gave them a run for it. They had an interesting draft, an interesting laning phase, but they held into this for quite a while, and they did not really start to lose until maybe the last 10 minutes or so when Imbuoy just got out of control. It was a solid enough game, especially the first half of it, action-packed, very much fun. So, well played here to both teams. Reason Gaming will take it 1-0, and we will move